he's a world
And I heard about Clíona D'Arcys, this really talented boxer, first year. And so I've been following your career since you were in first year in school. I didn't know where it would go, but it has gone to the top. And just to kind of explain how or what she has achieved. She's achieved national titles. She is gold champion in the Europeans, and now she's gone on to be the champion in the world youth. She's the first ever female youth world champion in Ireland. The first ever. There are three champions, 3 youth champions, 2 are pro fighters, and Clíona is the third. So just to put that into perspective, we all know Katie Taylor, we all know Kelly Harrington, we all know how successful they are. We all read about them in the newspaper, we see them on the telly all the time. Phenomenal role models. They never won this title. So this was there for them. Youth World Champions were there when Kelly Harrington was growing up, and Katie Taylor was growing up, but they didn't achieve the success that Clíona D'Arcys has achieved. We're going to celebrate, we're going to enjoy, and we're going to remember this for a long time to come. So Clíona, again, we are so proud of you today.
She's our world champion. Clíona D'Arcys, everybody! So I don't know, are you getting used to the kind of the media part of it now as well? Are you getting
I've never
introduced?
stopped smiling.
It's, and that's great. And you were smiling. I mean, this is incredible, where the referee was there with both of your hands with the Indian girl as well. And I think at that stage you knew, did you?
Yeah.
Even before the result was announced.
Kind of have an idea, but I was confident, so yeah.
It was mentioned by James about the semi-final. My God, if any of you ever watched, there's an old film back in the 70s called Rocky, where Rocky went into the ring, and next thing there was this absolute giant of a Russian against him, and you were kind of thinking, this is not a fair fight, and it didn't look it. But so, what was your mindset against the Polish girl?
Well, I'd met her before, like in the Europeans, so I kind of was hoping not to get her in the first round of the competition. I kind of wanted to settle into a fight, but you know, I don't know, when she's walking around the place and she's towering above you, it's not a great thing. But the coaches are just telling me to just do the same thing as last time, just stay moving. If I just stood there, she'd drain me with her, but like holding on to me, so yeah.
The lads are talking about boxing and the kind of fitness levels that are there and the skill set. Are there tactics involved then from fight to fight?
Yeah, you kind of look at your opponent, you kind of know, say from previous fights, whether they come forward or if they stand. Like if they're going to stay coming forward, you're better off to stay moving, keep angles with them. If they're going to stand there and actually like box, it's more technical. You kind of have to use combinations and all that.
Yeah. And can you hear the instructions coming from the side, or is it really noisy?
Depends, but I could hear them in the worlds, definitely, yeah.
Where you were, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously then, it's up to you then, but I'm often wondered, like, when you get a whack, sometimes things can go out the window in terms of you know, your mindset and how do you remain composed in that instance where you take a hit?
Well, like when you're in the ring, the adrenaline kind of takes over. Like you don't even realise. Like the amount of times I've come out of fights with black eyes and haven't even paid heed to getting hit in the fight or anything like that. So yeah, you don't really notice it half as much when you're in the ring, but it kind of builds up a bit of aggression in you and you just fight forward. Personally anyways.
Has your career been a very gradual thing, getting to the point where you're the world champion? Or was there any point earlier on when you were younger and you thought, yeah, I'm good at this, I think I could go and win stuff?
Well, growing up I got a lot of experience. Say I did training sessions at like Kelly Harrington, and up in Edenderry I was with a top coach up there, and he had countries coming in the whole time. Like I would have sparred Indian girls all growing up, like all them kind of countries. So yeah, I don't know, I kind of always got on well younger, and then there was kind of a point where like COVID hit and all that and everything went downhill, but then I was kind of eager to get back after COVID, so I put all my time into that. And
the nationals are one thing,
yeah.
And then as Mogi mentioned, like the Europeans are another level. Go back to February and winning the Europeans. Had you expectations going out there?
Well, I knew I'd be up against like higher standards, so I was very, very nervous going out there and didn't know what to expect, but once I got over there and kind of saw all my opponents, the confidence kind of comes with that. So.
And then that probably meant that you were like super confident going to the Worlds then, because most of your opponents would have been coming from Europe. You'd have beaten them already.
Both girls in my quarterfinal and semi-final were over at the Europeans, so I was confident going into them two fights, but then the final I didn't really know what to expect. I watched some of her fights and she was constantly coming forward, and I didn't know what to do, but the coaches gave me instructions and everything worked. So.
And you don't have much time, do you, between bouts?
No.
So like, what do you do? Do you recover? Do you go for runs?
Very, very fast process. Like say my quarterfinal was one day, my semi-final was the next day, then I had 2 days rest, so after the semi it was straight home, get ready. I did a training session the day before the fight, and then
what's involved in a training session then, apart from laps of the field?
Over there it's just like skipping, warm up, bag work, technical pad work and all that, yeah. Just to keep sharp, yeah.
I'm always looking at the school menu when I come in here. What do you eat in between fights then, or on the day of a big bout? Like, is there a time before that you can't eat, or how do you plan your day? Is it very strict and regimented?
Yeah, well, it's kind of normal, but I wouldn't eat like 2 or 3 hours before a fight. A lot of carbs like pastas, meat, protein, all that kind of stuff, like the day before and the day of the fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Chicken curry and rice is kind of gone really before a world title.